Caro, talk to us about a push for quotas within the Labor Party.
Well, this will surprise no one. Labor's latest identitarian crusade. Apparently they're going to take a motion to their national conference in August, which they expect to be supported, for quotas of culturally diverse and indigenous candidates. This is what Senator Yana Stewart had to say. I'm keen to add a colour lens to all that we do. Now, I struggle to agree with that one. She also said this, in this day and age, it's unacceptable not to reflect our community. She said the Australian community want to see their leaders look more like them. That I do agree with, but do you necessarily need a quota to do that? The author of the article had this to say, and I think he makes a very, very good point. Senior figures in the left faction want to increase the mix of cultural backgrounds in the caucus, but are cautious that too ambitious target could result in candidates being picked before they gain the relevant skills and experience for a political career. And yes, they should be cautious because their gender quota has not worked out that well for them. They have elected some absolute howlers off the back of that one. And the other thing I want to know is what exactly do they mean by gaining relevant skills and experience? Most of their candidates have paddled through a union anyway, so all their experience is the same. I can't imagine what difference it'll be if they're Indigenous or culturally diverse. But yeah, we go. Labor Party, hardly a hotbed of personal achievement. Is this going to make a difference?
I just can't believe a senator saying we want to add a colour lens
unbelievable.
to all we do.
We want to be racist, to be clear.
Incredible.
We want to be racist.
Here's my question. Once you start introducing gender quotas, so we want a certain number of politicians with breasts, how do you then say we don't want a certain number of politicians with a black face? I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah, and also, how are you going to monitor it? Is it the member that needs to reflect their constituency? So if you've got a massive amount of, say, Chinese Aussies in that constituency, then we're going to make sure that we pre-select a Chinese Aussie, so on and so forth. Like, how does this work? Or are they going to go Australia-wide and be like, well, there's this many of so-and-so, this many from here? Also, how far are we going to take this identity politics? Because what they're doing right now is no less stupid than me saying, well, someone with blonde hair and blue eyes can't represent me. They don't look like me. They don't look like me. What would they know?
Senator Stewart is the first Victorian Indigenous senator. But, I mean, I would like to ask, since Indigenous people make up about 3.5% of the Australian population...
Oh, they're already massively overrepresented in
Exactly.
our
So
Parliament.
if she's so concerned about, specific representation, will she be the one to quit Parliament so that the numbers can be a little more right? Because it's about 5% Indigenous representation in Parliament, which, as you said, is overrepresentation. So does it work the other way, Caroline?
Oh, look, who knows? And look, you can just see the conversation going on in the back room, can't you? The box ticking. Right. Because at the moment, it's culturally diverse and Indigenous. And before you know it, it becomes an LGBT quota. It becomes a disability quota. It becomes a partridge in a pear tree quota. Like, where do you actually get to where you stop teasing out these intrinsic, identitarian parts of us to make you suitable to be an MP? I would just like really smart and competent people. Unfortunately, there's no quota for that.
Unfortunately, meritocracy is dead, Caroline. I'm sorry. Remember when we had that thing, the hierarchy of competence? Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.